I'll be back.
Sound muted.
So I figure I have 140 people watching. I don't know how many of you may have watched me do this last year. May have maybe familiar with Extra Life, perhaps even watched my marathon earlier in the year. It was about 28 days ago. The countdown right now is backwards. It's the date was in the past and it doesn't do negative numbers. So at any rate, um, Extra Life is a fantastic charity. It's extra-life.org. You've probably seen from my donation link. You can find out more there. But really, it's a way for gamers to do their part for charity. It started with a little girl by the name of Victoria Emmon, and she was, I believe, Children's Hospital Austin. She was there fighting cancer, and Jeremy Adams Doc, the guy who founded Extra Life, was friends with her. He worked there as doing radiothons and such. Became friends with her and found out, one of the biggest problems the kids ran into, one of the things that was driving them nuts being in the hospitals at the time. Anyway, this was a while back. They had nothing to do. I mean, they had games, board games and stuff, but they didn't have any video games or anything. And a lot of these kids love video games. So he's like, well, heck, I'm a gamer. Let's see if we can go let's go out there and ask for some people to donate some video game systems. So they went to the Sarcastic Gamer website and asked for people to donate old game systems to see if they could get some stuff for the kids. And they got so much stuff from around the world, like just blew their minds. They wound up having to distribute it out to several different hospitals just to make it all go to get used. So that gave them the idea that maybe we should do something more with this. Gamers obviously want to be a part of this too. And unfortunately, Victoria passed away shortly after that. But Doc started Extra Life, and we do a 24-hour gaming marathon, much as someone might do their AIDS walk or diabetes run or whatever, what may it be. We do a 24-hour gaming marathon, often streamed. I actually hosted an event at my house with 6 different people on my team, including my wife, a couple of guys I play EVE Online with, another friend of mine I know from my soccer fandom. He came and played on the PlayStation with us for a while. So invited some friends, family, and coworkers to stop by the house, set up a whole bunch of retro game systems. And this year, we're doing it in the name of a girl by the name of Savannah. We found out right around the time of Extra Life last year that a good friend of ours' daughter, who had fought neuroblastoma from the time she was 3 until she was about 6, she had overcome it at the time. But we found out late in the year last year that she had relapsed and that neuroblastoma was back, and it's a particularly nasty, pretty rare form of childhood cancer. And I mean, at the time, we were very optimistic. Everything was going to go great. They had the ways to treat it, and it had been treated once before. She'd fought it into remission. She could do it again. So we created these bracelets. You say Team Savannah, Extra Life, Myrick Strong. Myrick Strong's like their family mantra. And throughout the year, we kept her updated on what we were doing with Extra Life. She was super excited. Turned 7 in September. And was excited and looking forward to coming to our event in November. It was November 7th here at my house. She was going to come play Minecraft with my kids and maybe some board games with us. Super thrilled about Extra Life and was really blown away that her name was attached to something that got out there so far. That I was raising money from hundreds of different people across the country with team members. I have 15 or 20 members in the team also doing this in her name, and she was just absolutely, her mind was blown. Unfortunately, maybe 5 or 6 weeks before the marathon, we got word that the treatment basically was doing more harm than good. It was, her immune system wasn't bouncing back. The radiation and chemo was killing the cancer, but it was killing her immune system too. And really, I guess from my understanding, this is, again, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but my understanding is basically one way or another, there wasn't a way out at that point. There was nothing really they could do. So the parents made the decision to take Savannah off of the treatment so that she could at least be comfortable for her last, however long it would be. And we saw her, met her weeks before that. You would have never known there was anything wrong with her. Running around the playground with our kids, just leading the charge. She was the one babbling on and on about Minecraft and gaming. And the only way we knew there was anything different about her was that she had to wear a hat. We were outside of the park because she had no hair. She was bald. She didn't notice. She didn't care. It wasn't a thing to her. She wanted to talk about Minecraft. She heard I was a gamer, and she talked at me for 25 minutes about Minecraft. But I guess 2 weeks after they took her off of her treatment, she passed away. It was only a couple days after her 7th birthday. So at any rate, some of this money that gets donated, it doesn't just go to the hospital. It doesn't go to Extra Life. Extra Life is almost like a direct channel to these hospitals. Everybody who works for Extra Life works for one of the hospitals. There's not like there's a CEO somewhere making $250,000 a year or anything like that. Um, this money goes straight to Children's Hospital Colorado in this case through my donation link. There are others on my teams that support other hospitals around the country. It goes right into the budget. It's kind of a slush fund. They pay for specific things like families who can't afford treatment, something not covered by insurance, and it's like a experimental treatment that might save their kid. Then that'll you know that'll get paid for. Parents sometimes are stuck there while their kids are overnight for days and days. They're eating constantly at the hotel cafeteria, or going down to the coffee shop, whatever. Sometimes they give out vouchers so that the parents aren't having to worry about sending somebody out for food, or I don't have any cash or where's an ATM. No, they just hand them a voucher. You go down to the cafeteria and get it taken care of. Sometimes it's if they have a surplus, depends on how much we raise. Colorado, we don't unfortunately have a big enough market to raise quite as much. We're trying. Like we got 100,000 total last year. But if we get enough, going in, then they'll do stuff like put it into a fund for new equipment that can save lives, or helping fund some research on a new treatment that might work. That sort of stuff. I mean, these are fantastic causes, and if you think about it, there are a lot of hospitals out there, but there are only a handful around the country that are specifically for children. If you've ever been to one of these places, if you're a parent, these places are amazing, absolutely amazing. Like, the one for me is God, it's an hour and a half drive from my house, and if one of my kids ever, God forbid, has to go to the hospital, I can tell you, if they can last an hour and a half to get to that hospital, I'd rather go to that one than the one near my house. Um, they're just amazing. It's run by amazing people. It's an amazing foundation, and well, that gives you a little better idea of kind of why I'm doing this. And thank you for whoever followed that up right at the end there with the donation. I really appreciate it. So, gonna click back over to, you can listen to our boring primary calling and comms, and I'll try to intermittently add in stuff. But where's the people? There's like 6 people on